I gotta say, today has been one of the most stressful days. Seriously, like I woke up. I've been trying to get an appointment with the doctor for 3 days since Wednesday. So today is Friday, and actually might have been since Tuesday or Monday. I think might have been each day this week. Finally got it. Alarm set off. Woke up at about I don't know about 8:30, right? And it rings. I mean, my alarm goes off. I call the thing. Oh yeah, cool. 3 o'clock. No, I'm live streaming at 3. No. Can we do earlier? Okay. How about 2:15? No, I can't. Anything earlier? Like, and then I'm going. What's up with the light? Flick. There's no light. It's it's like 8:30 in the morning and there's no light. And I'm like, did I pay my bills? I'm sure I paid my bills. I know there's one due, but it's not due today. It's due like a week or two away. And I'm like stressing. I'm like, come on, what's going on? So I get online, check the PAL thing. Oh, just up the road, like 100 meters up the road, some person, and I've been filming all day, and like, I'm trying to control my language here. Some person decided that 7 o'clock in the morning, they're going to hit a power pole, just getting out of their driveway, basically, or whatever, right? And it's storming weather, like we're in the middle of winter, and it's like pouring out rain, downcast, which means it's grayed over. I'm not sure wherever you guys are watching from know what that means, but it's like grayed all over, like it's not like sunny or anything. And so you're told when you get a license, drive to the weather, which means slow down if there's raining. And, because you get scared, you don't have control over the car, because the car, depending on the wheel, will slide. And I'm like, I've been in a car accident, so I'm very cautious about what happens, with people behind the wheel. And one thing I've noticed is that everybody's so impatient now. And the more the years go past, the more impatient people become. I don't know why. It's not like, like this person basically crashing into the power pole, like a concrete power pole, put us inconvenience like thousands of people today. That one person, because it meant like, anybody who was in my rate, in our block, weren't, if they work from home, cook, if they had babies, kids, anything like that, all were inconvenienced because of one person who should have been paying attention, or whatever reason, wasn't, inconvenienced them all. Not only just those people here, and all the thousands of drivers who go past, because we live on the main road, so who go past, and so they had to be inconvenienced as well, getting to work late and stuff. So it's one of the things, like, I think a lot of people are becoming so impatient, but they don't think about other people on the road. So one of the reasons I'm in a car accident, why I, kind of work self-employed kind of situation, and not work in film like I was supposed to, and I trained to, because of car accident, because somebody was impatient driving really past. So I'm always conscious. And so anywhere I go, usually it's with somebody else driving, or I get a taxi. So that was kind of like the sad day today for me, or angry day, frustrating day. But let's get to, the reason that upset me is because I was supposed to do this. I had arranged all my friends who have been working with me, all the beautiful, all of the work they've done for this campaign, for this work, for this comic book, and been waiting for about almost a year. And well, some of them like last couple of months, 6 months or so, to have this work out, to show you guys that, that they'll jump in and out because they're all over the world. Like, I've got one of the cover artists is from Sweden, right? So I think it's around about 5 o'clock in the morning right now, something like that. Because, and then I've got friends over in England, America. I've got people in Italy. I've got people in Argentina. No, sorry, Brazil, right? And so we've got all these people working on these amazing projects. And I'm like, okay, let's coordinate, because I was going to do it the other day, last week. And I was like, oh, wait, no, the convention is tomorrow, next week, not today, not tomorrow, right? Like the week after, which is basically today, tonight, and then tomorrow, where we're going to go check it out. And the idea was to like launch it, and let's go and talk to people about it. Hey, walk around with my QR code. Hey, dude, I've got a comic book coming up called Robot Nation. Worked our asses off, butts off, whatever you want to say, and now it's launched. Please go check it out. Let me know. I'd love for you guys to give me some feedback or whatever, and whether it's something that you'd be interested in going forward. Now, let's get to the basics. All right, the story, and then I'll go through this quickly. And one thing I wanted to do was have Niobe here. He's a good friend of mine, YouTube friend, whatever friend, but also Facebook friend, right? We do a lot of talk about, Kickstarter. We talk a lot about indie comics. We talk about a lot of things, collecting comics and stuff. And I just want, because he's like, for me, right? He's like been doing this for 10 years on Kickstarter. And I wanted to, it's probably like past midnight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So, probably it's going to work out. And plus we're about 2.5 hours late because of the power cut. Now, Robot Nation is an ongoing series, but each issue, right from the start, each issue is a standalone comic, which means it's a self-contained comic book. And this is the only one we do where it's a self-contained. So each issue will be self-contained. And the main core of the stories is about robots. Maybe artificial intelligence, stuff like that, just robots, right? Artificial creations, right? And so on. And like biochemical, cyborgs, half man, half machine, metal man, right? Parts and pieces and all that. Um, excuse me. And so with this, there's always going to be like a big, huge story, like something like a 40-page story, and then there'll be like a short story. It's because I'm trying to make it an anthology series. But like the first issue is 44 pages, right? I mean, the black and white was only 36 pages. So we had another 8 pages, which meant we put in an extra poster in the middle of it, and a couple of pinups. And just to make it, interesting, exciting. And so one of the cool things about this is having an Italian artist. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. The artist on this is Francesco Conte, Francesco, right? He's from Italy, and he's the amazing European artist on this. And I love the style. That's one thing I really liked about this is the style. And it's just this beautiful, like vibrant black line artwork, lots of black. And it reminds me of what I've always been a fan of right from the start, like after Goofy and Asterix and all that. But more importantly, more mature kind of comic book series of anthology stories called 2000 AD, featuring Judge Dredd, right? And as a fan of that, it's something, when I saw his work, I was like, yeah, this is who, because at first we were going to put him on a vigilante comic. And I thought, maybe something else, right? Because he's like, oh yeah, this is not my thing. And I'm like, I get it. That's, it's that one thing you got to understand is like artists have a preference, and illustrators is that even like me, right? There's certain things I want to work on, right? And that's like when it comes to writing for other people or working with other people on, like say I want to write something like this, and I don't feel like they're suited to it, or they'll feel that I'm suited to that, and they'll move on, and I'll move on to something else. But I felt like Francisco is so good on this, right? And then so beautiful line work, and he inked his own work, so he knows exactly what he's doing, And the other thing is we, kind of a bit late in the game, because it was like we had somebody else lined up to do the coloring, dropped out, and we, for whatever reason, which meant that we delayed it, further. And so now we've got a new colorist, amazing guy, Edwin Badillo. Every week I get like a couple pages in, and I put it on, and and we keep updating. So we're hoping to have everything ready, by December. This is when we want to get this to you guys, by December, right? By Christmas is my aim, right? Get it to you guys by Christmas, because it would be a great present, right? So you can see there's two stories in this. Like I said, it's each issue is self-contained. So you might get a comic book next time around that's 60 pages or 50 pages, right? And so it'll be pricing will be according to what the amount of pages there are, not like, oh, okay, this is 40 pages and next is 20 pages, but it's going to cost you the same amount. No, we're not going to play that game, right? So you can see the work here, line work, and of course now we're going to move on to the covers. Actually, before I move into covers, I should tell you a bit about the stories. So there's 2 stories. The first one's The Trouble with Bobo. And we put it first because one of my writer friends who writes horror and is a comedian and all that, and he said, hey, you know what, this story should be in the front. And so when we went to do the story, I switched it around. So The Trouble with Bobo is a 16-page complete story. Like both those stories are complete. And The Trouble with Bobo is about the Shankar family, right? Mum, dad, and little Aaron are in orbit aboard, on board, I should say on board, same thing, right? Their spacecraft above the first human settlement on the planet Venus. I always keep thinking of Pluto whenever I go to write it, and I'll look, it's Venus. Got to remember that. While awaiting permission to descend, hold on. I should stop breaking in the middle of sentences, right? So the Sankara family, Dad, Mum, and little Aaron are in orbit on board their spacecraft above the first human settlement on the planet Venus, while awaiting permission to descend, land. With fuel running low, what else can they do but land? So it's like you can't be in the ship in in the ocean forever. You gotta like pull in, or pull up, right? And so that's where that sort of goes in. So this here, because we're doing three translated versions of this. So there's English, and then we've got Spanish, and then we've got Portuguese. This here is, of course, let me see who's the writer on this. So this is Louise is the translator. So this is in Portuguese, right? So that's, so you can see all these, that's not English, it's Portuguese, right? So we left the title there, so it's not too confusing, but yeah. So you can see the beautiful landscape, the colors, and everything. And this is, of course, this is the NZX 2030 Sir Edmund Hillary, right? The Edmund Hillary. Now, Edmund Hillary was an explorer. I can't remember if he's passed away or not, but he's a well-known New Zealand explorer. Climbed Mount Everest and so on, of course, with his Indian, Sherpa help, but whatever. But so, and also part of that is like he's done a lot in the community there as well on Everest, and I don't know much about Tibet and all that. So, but the reason I put these things in there is that like, because it's about New Zealand, right? The stories we tell ties into about our characters and the place in the world, and how Kiwis are explorers. And I thought this would be pretty cool way to actually put Edmund Hillary in there. All right, so the second story, right, is Robot Nation, which is the title story, and I'm hoping that we'll get either people come on board and go, hey, I'd like to write a 6 to 12 page story to check into as a backup story in the Robot Nation series. And so what is the idea behind that? And I've written up a synopsis of what the idea behind that is. And so the thing is, and of course, I want you guys to read this before you come and go, oh, what's the idea behind it? Because because these are short stories, it's easy to spoil them without, so I've tried to keep it, the synopsis very short and, kind of loosely descriptive, but not so descriptive. So this one, the Robot Nation, 12-page short story, set in a near future New Zealand, right? And which is basically where this is set, is like about half an hour to 40 minutes drive from here, depending how busy the road is, right? Which is a beach called Tutakaka. It's a wharf beach, so like it's like kind of an inlet thing, and lots of little islands around it. And so a young Kiwi couple returning from camping on a small island, isolated island in Whangarei, New Zealand, find themselves running from a powerful enemy, and you get to find out who that powerful enemy is. So I've given a couple of descriptors here, but this is, there's more there. But like I said, I don't want to put too much information on this page, because then, it'll give away the story, and I don't want to do that and ruin it for you guys. And again, beautiful artwork, illustrations by Francesco Conte, our Italian artist, and of course, colors by our American artist, Edwin Badillo. And now we go, I thought I'd give you some, black and white, just to show you a little tiny panel, just kind of nice to show you without the colors on it, so you can see the style that Francesco's, really his style, right? It's really awesome. Excuse me. Right. So the covers. So as I mentioned, there was three below other, there's three different covers, because they're three different languages. So what I did was I got our Spanish-speaking artist, Tomas, who's actually working on a manga right now. And if you go to risingsunpublishing.com, you'll see, and actually, let me just put that on the link. By the way, thank you for joining me today, man. Like, I mean, I know, like, not knowing what time was going to come, especially when I said we're going to be like at 2:30, which was like, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sorry. And then suddenly I was like, oh, I don't know, it's 4 o'clock. Oh, no, I don't know, because I'm looking out the window, like the door, and I'm looking on the balcony going, that machine's, the trucks are still there, the crane's still there, the lift thing. And I'm like, and the guys are working, and I've got little short video clips of it that I'm going to load up later. And, but I do appreciate you guys coming out and, checking out what this is about. And if you're part of the team, if you're watching, feel free to come on. You've got the links. Now, I'm just going to put this link from our, what did I just do? Right. So here we are. So this is our, there's many, like, the group that I work with, the publisher, that small press publisher that I work with is Rising Sun Comics. Excuse me. And so this is the manga link. This is just like an introductory to the manga that we're doing. And this is it here. So I am going to put it there and get rid of that. And so the manga is called, and I'll just switch over to that while, because Thomas's work. Manga is called The Tortoise. And so we have a bit of work in there from Tomas, but most of the work is done by a gentleman named Levi Horvath. And so we give you, how to show you how to read the manga. It is, if I remember right, it's 32 pages. It's an introduction to the series. The reason for that, that's why the price is really small, dollar, which is $1.16 New Zealand. So it's not that expensive, right, for a digital comic. And it's just to introduce you to what we're doing with the manga series, with our artwork here. So you got Levi's work. So I think there's about 2 or 3 pages that are like the start and the end is by Tomas, and the rest is by Levi. However, Tomas is going to be taking over the entire book. He's about 2/3 or half of issue 2 already finished, and he's done all the characters now, like, so we can do them as trading cards and posters and stuff. And now he's translating the comic book for Robot Nation. So so if you're someone who likes reading manga and wants to try something different, a bit more like it's kind of like a slice of life, supernatural horror, conservation, adult themes, and nudity later on, right? So this is a mature comic book manga. Sorry, right at the top we tell you it's a mature reader book. All right, back to the main thing. Now, do check that out, because I think for $1, US, you're not gonna, it's not gonna break the bank. And that's kind of an introduction to the world, right? And so we've got Tomas's awesome cover here, and also, this is all in Spanish. Everything, like, I've got one more page I've got to hand over, which is Christian Zaffo's artwork, which I will show soon, and which I basically made it a part of the comic book, kind of like an advert, conversation, dialogue, kind of like just chucked it in there as an extra piece, because Christian was the first one to put his hand up and go, hey, I'd love to do something, something for you. And then we had another artist called G-Spot. We got him to color some work, and then he was like, oh, I really love to see your work succeed. And I said, I'll do some covers myself. And so he did 3 covers, and we'll look at that soon. And think of G-Spot as Banksy, right? Very creative, highly, I'd class him as one of the best, and in the indie comics when it comes to art, both coloring as well as illustration. Now, so the next one we've got is, of course, the Portuguese version, and we've got, a Puerto Rican, I hope that's right, who's actually did the cover, right? Basically, that's Edwin and Manuel Soto. Those guys basically did the cover, and for like a wraparound cover. And I said, I want to use that for issue 2, not issue 3, variant cover C. which is a Portuguese version. So that sort of works out as well. So we got all the Portuguese language on here and everything. So which, like I mentioned earlier on our other, podcasts, live streams, that, yeah, this meant I had to do 3 times the work, and which meant it's delayed. And right now we did, there was going to 3 times the hard work, right? But so the guys right now have the complete script in their hands now, with all the little bits and pieces like credits, names of, like what everybody was doing, and what, like back matter, like showing people, I'll show you some of the comic as far as we've got in here, as far as all the colors pages so far that we've done, because that's what we're really working on, is the translation and the color pages, right? Completing those 2 things. Now, so we have Louise, who's a Puerto Rican speaking Brazilian, and who's translating this for us, and he's working on a comic book called Howler, which is a mythological creature, werewolf, kind of like creatures of the world, like, things that are part of our mythology as human beings. Like each tribe has their own little thing. And so this is a story about that. It's about a mom. Howler is a story about a mother and a son, and them, on the run, basically. And so we get, you get to learn through issue 1 what that's about. Now, we've including a post, like a kind of like a, not, what they say, not actual cover kind of thing. So we've included it as an extra in the comic book, so you get to see his artwork as well. So you're prepared for what to expect in the next lot, right? When we do the Howler ongoing series, which is like, I think it's a maxi series, about 12 issues. So now we move on to the variant covers. So you got 3 languages, A, B, and C is the 3 variant covers for the 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Now we've got like the artist I mentioned that I think is amazing as well, and then also the colorist. The colorist is G Spot, our awesome James D. Hill. He's been going through some stuff with his family, and so I just appreciate him putting the work in for us, and for me especially, just to say, hey dude, can we please? And he's does it, and he's working on a book called Templeton right now, which is supernatural horror, like really R18 kind of like stage horror. Like think of Hellraiser, that sort of kind of situation, but not so much in the Pinhead sort of, that sort of fantasy level. But yeah. And so this is a not safe for work cover. It's called Robot Lover, cover D. And then we've got G Spot. The artist was saying that it's like, awesome. And like recently I saw a DC, like a one-shot Brainiac cover. It looked just like this, like the whole stance, the whole holding a skull. And I'm like, what? Because I've been posting these for like a couple of months, like work in progress and stuff on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And I was like, did somebody from decide to see the work and then decide to, I like it, so I'll do Brainiac like that, a female Brainiac, right? Anyway, so this is a bloody game. This is of course Iwa Kim, who's working right now on a book called Zolandia, Fantastical Romy, which is kind of like a PG book, I think. That's how it classifies. It's a fantasy elseworld parallel universe version of New Zealand, where you have like creatures like fairies, you have dragons who turn into humans, you got beastmen, bunny girls, you got like bear humans, humanoid, beast, if you've seen anime, or fantasy, what that's like. So it's basically it's New Zealand, a tenth the size of New Zealand in this world, and people from our world can travel there And we haven't established if they can travel here, but we got a hint that that might be possible in one of our other stories. It's kind of like an Easter egg kind of thing. So that is something that Iwakim's working on. And so we have two versions of this. There is a version that we did for free. We gave away, which I'll just pop down there. So since we're talking about Iwakim's work, that we are doing free as part of a retailer incentive, because this is a standalone comic, right? Because it's standalone, that means that if you as a retailer decide, I want to get this and support indie comics, and please do support indie comics, not just us, but other creators out here, who work really hard, because I know how hard I work, and I know when I see their work, I know how hard they would work for that as well. So the thing about this is that we're doing like a set of 10 books, which gives you 10 different items with it, like 10 sticker packs, 10 beneath the skin, and I'll show you that cover soon, beneath the skin pinups as well. It's kind of like incentive to get that for free from us as part of this pack. So you get like 3 of this beautiful lab rat cover. We're just getting to that one, sorry. Lab rat cover, then you get like one of these blank white, what I call a pink white lingerie cover, because there you can draw your own. The idea behind that is to draw your own. It's one of our artist friends suggested that, and then our G-Spot basically said, oh, I watched that, and I was like, yeah, let's do, here, use this. This will be probably better rather than just a sketch cover, right? And so that was pretty cool. So now, I forgot to mention early on, right? This is the cover A here with from Francesco Conte. So all our cover A's that comes from us is well, apart from the manga one. Actually, it will be for the manga one, but not for the intro manga. The dollar intro one. That's actually from an artist here in New Zealand called. Oh, I've forgotten the name. Let me find it. Don't want to get that wrong. Okay. It was on tip of Annalisa. Yeah, it was on tip of my tongue, but I was like, oh, I can't get it wrong. So, and Annalisa did that. And so for that one, we put her, I asked her specifically, hey, can I get you to do, I want to encourage her. And I was like, she's only 14, didn't even know that. But I said like, hey, and I spoke to her dad and everything. So, hey, can you, I'll pay you outright to do me a cover for the manga. And so that's why, that's the only one where we don't have cover A by the actual interior artist. So all our covers are always going to be like, cover A will always be by the interior artist. Now, if you're new here, I'm getting used to the idea of actually, saying like, share, and subscribe, please, if you're this first time here. I don't often do that because I just don't think about it. But so I'm just, if you are new here, please subscribe, like, share, and I really would appreciate it if you do that. Thank you. All right, so now we get to the comic cover that I was talking about. So this one here is a free cover, free comic, and it's a retailer only cover. So nobody else can get it except those who get the all-in, right? And so if you're backing the all-in, you'll get every cover that we put out. However, that's the only way you'll be able to get this cover if you're like a major collector, right? Just wants everything. So apart from that, the only people that will get this, who are able to get this, is those retailers who back this. So you get 5 covers of cover A, and you get cover E. You get 3 covers of cover 3 times covers 3. 3 covers of cover. What was it called? Let me go back up there. The G-Spot cover, right? That's the foil one. Where are we? There we go. The Lab Rat cover E, right? And then we get 1 of the white, pink lingerie white, and then of course the Iwakim cover, which is like the game, and this is the bloody game. So that's how why to bring it back to why that was there, and it looks similar, but however, for the Kickstarter backers who won this cover, but you know, they're not retailers, so they get to have the bloody, you know, the bloody game, not the game, right? So as I mentioned, Eva Kim's working on Zealandia, Fantastical Romy. So if you actually go on Facebook and write in ZE, let me just grab that. I'll be able to get you the spelling of that so you guys can check it out. You can actually follow our page. It's probably the only one where I've actually put our own, you know, like a title on our comic book, because this is something that I'm doing as a standalone thing. So this is like the Zealandia. So if you follow Zealandia, you'll get some art. You see the updates on it. You know, it's like because everything else for us goes on a site on Facebook, right? If you're on Facebook, goes on a site called Plunge Studios. So that comes under the business of our studio, and so that's Plunge and Z. And so I'll put that up there as well so you guys can see that. So that's how, you know, that's the only, so this is the only title that is separated from our studio, because it's, you know, it's kind of like something very, I mean, for me, it's like kind of its own world that I want to create for it, with like games, board games and stuff that I'm looking at. And so it's got a major like a gaming tie-in that I've created part of that. So that's Zealandia, of course. So, you know, that's how it's spelled, and it's trademarked and everything, because I've got this huge idea for it. Now back to cover G. So that was cover F. And man, I saw this cover and I was like, dude, we gotta make the special, and we'll do it for the retailers, but we should do something for everybody else, because I love this, you know. And it'll be cool, and I'm sure other people would. And that's how we end up like, let's do the bloody cover. And, you know, I don't actually tell Iwakim to do that. He just, you know, that's the thing about like the artwork on all these covers. I've never given really any direction as to what you do. Like the only one I have actually done it with was and it was after the fact, it had already been done, was the mystery cover that I'll show you. And I mean, it's a mystery, so you can't really, unless you buy it, you won't know, right? And that's the whole thing, right? It's like a secret squirrel. And so we'll get to that soon. So now we've got cover G. This is the one I was talking about, with Pink Lingerie White by G Spot, our Banksy, our comic book Banksy. It's something we were, you know, discussing. He came up with it, and I was like, yeah, it's like the artist that you don't know about, but you know he's good, right? And so this is, of course, every other cover apart from the two, B and C, are all English. So, you know, however, you know, we've got packs where you can get A, B, and C, right? So you get all three languages. Now, all our covers are kind of like heavy card cover kind of set. You're not paying any extra for them. You know, they're all the same. They're not very flimsy, so you can actually draw on them, and you're good to go. And so that's the idea behind this. You know, you can draw your own female, or, you know, whatever you want to do, right? Or even an alien, right, on the cover, and so on. So you know, as lingerie as thing. So the other thing about this, of course, is a mature comic book. There is no nudity in it. However, in future ones there will be, and that's why right away from the start I said it's a mature comic book. Now, so this is the Kiwi Ana, Mr. Kiwi Ana tribute cover. I've basically almost finished coloring it, and the art's already been done, and it's just kind of, yeah, it's one of the things that I just want to do something kind of tie back into New Zealand, back into my childhood, back into what was really cool back then and stuff. And yeah, because I really liked what Tomas did with his cover right back up here. Hopefully that's not buzzing with the eyes too much. So I really like what he did here, and I just, you know, I suggested that we go and do something a bit different with it to make it a bit more special, kind of like, you know, back to New Zealand kind of special, right? So that's a tribute cover. Whoops, went too fast. So, you know, it's in English, by the way. So if you like the, you know, if you liked his art style, the manga art style of cover B, you know, you know what to expect. So yeah, as mentioned, every other cover apart from B and C is in English. I mean, you know, book. Now the next one is the foil covers. So you got cover I, which is the robot lover again, but with no text, apart from a little tiny text at the bottom saying who's the artist, because you want to know which book it is without having to go in there, yeah, and so on. Especially if you're a collector, right? And like if you're like me, it's like, what was this cover from? And then yeah, because you've already put it in a bag and board, and you've, you know, and you're either on your shelf or in your you know, container, or what I've got here is like boxes, right? And you don't want to flip through all of them, and you have to open each one up every now and then to find out what it's from. So that's the reason for that. But I love the you know, foil, man. This is just going to be magic. So G-Spot as a colorist, of course, and then James Hill again, you know, great artwork. And next one, of course, is the foil version of Beneath the Skin. And now, what I should say, this is the only version that you'll get with this artwork. And this is what I was talking about, like the whole DC thing with Brainiac cover that just recently came out. So, and you know, Beneath the Skin, English version, and it's the variant cover of this version here. So you get that in regular, you know, paper, right? It's regular standard print comic book, and then the variant cover, like there's 3 variants, and we'll get to that, show you. So the variant version of that, which is this one, Beneath the Skin, right? This one is the foil version. So, you know, if you're a comic book collector, if you're a reader and so on, or a fan, you've seen foil, and like, you know, I just thought, man, this will look just perfect with the metal, like, you know, with the metal white here, with like just the foil, you know, everything like this just going to be just brilliant, and the way it's going to lift off that page. So yeah, again, English. Now we come to the foil wraparound and the chrome wraparound. So this is the foil wraparound, and this is of course by Edwin Badillo and Manuel Soto. And you'll notice that this is sorry, I should go to this one, which is like, this is the cover B, right, the Spanish cover, but this is the full cover that I was sent. But then I was like, I need you know, I need a B cover, sorry, a C cover for the Portuguese, I didn't say Spanish, Portuguese cover, right? And so that's what, so I just went and put that in the middle. And then of course I realized that I don't have you know, his what's it called, I didn't have his signature in this part, and I was like, okay, send me a signature. So I got it separate, so you see that, you know, on there. And so this is of course the chrome cover, right? And I've mentioned what a chrome cover is if you haven't before on here, but like if you haven't seen a chrome cover, this is the glorious looking chrome cover. There we go. This is what a chrome cover looks like. And this is, of course, John Stinsman's glorious art on Evangeline, which, of course, has been announced to be a movie, right? So you can see what that's going to be like. So, suppose if they're still doing, this is like 20 years ago, right? So if they're still doing it like this is what you're going to see, right? I haven't seen a recent clone cover, but this is what I'm expecting it to be. So beautiful, you know, bright and shiny, awesome. This looks a bit embossed, but I can't, you know, yeah, this is embossed, so I'm not sure if this is part of how it is done, but it's definitely going to look like that. So, but in that beautiful, you know, the colors is just going to pop with the yellow and, you know, the orange, brown sort of, and then you got the white and got the silver tones. It's just going to, yeah, it's just going to be great. Now, back to this one. So this is the foil wraparound. So both these covers are foil wraparound. Sorry, both these covers are wraparound. So back, just like that one, front and back, right? And so the seam of it will be right here, where it bends up, bends like that, and then opens up. So you got both of them. Now we get to the special packs. Now I'm just going to check that. Yeah, I was going to get you to come on and help me out with this, and we're going to go through quickly and just say, hey, is this everything set? And go, hey, yeah, bro, hit that launch button. So you've got the link. If you want to come and jump on, man, I'll really appreciate it. So I'm just going to go through this and then jump onto that, go to the launch, and to the thing, and then hit the launch button. Because of the lateness, all my guys are like probably sleeping, and I was like, Anyway, so this is a cover ABC, as mentioned. So you got the Asimov's first law, you get that pack. Asimov's second law, you get the G-Spot series with the blank and everything. And this is just the regular covers, right? I did mention that this we were only going to do this in foil, but I just realized that we're doing this in regular for the pack. So if you buy this, then you get the regular print or paper and not foil. And then you've got the foils and the chrome. So the third law, you get the 2 foils, and you get the chrome and the wraparound foil as well. And then, of course, I already mentioned the retail incentive. And then you've got the all-in. It's about 13 covers, including the mystery cover. And then you also get the stickers and pinups and everything else that comes along with with it. That we're sending out there. So then you got the sticker to the TINHEADS. You got a pack of 5 there, and of course we're going to be add-ons. You've got lithograph stickers, stretch goals. We start earlier than the reaching the goal, so we start at 1,500 US, and you get the sticker for G-Spot's comic book sticker print. And that is for 4x5, 4x6. It's kind of about that big, something like that. Or is it more? And then, of course, you've got the stretch goal 2K, and you've got a 4x6 print card of the sketch by Manuel Soto. And then, of course, you got the stretch goal here with the 4x6 robot lover sticker. And stretch goal 3K, getting close to our goal. I think we might have just passed our goal here. I'm not thinking New Zealand, but US, right? So then we've got the poster, comic book size poster print for free at 3K. All right. And now let me pop out of here. Oops. Basics. And so you got all the rewards, you've got all the other stuff, add-ons and posters, tickets, like I mentioned, and then you've got the trading cards, which I haven't mentioned yet. So you get the damn dirty TINHEADS. You got a pack of 5 cards, and you've got information about the different things we do with that. There's even an iridescent card in there, which I was quite excited about. And then you've got all the other items on the listings that we've got, and also we think, you can get the digital comic as well, and, all the others, lots of bits and pieces of information. But here's something that I haven't mentioned. So if you buy a pack from us, I'm going to specially get a printing done of this image here. And I mean, that artwork there for our next comic book, which is the story for issue 2, which is called Ruth and Fang and Fur. It's about a mother and who is woken out of cryogenics and has to do stuff, and the only assistance she has or help she has is her robot dog, the family robot dog, and they're on board a mothership with 200,000 people and sleeping. and so on a journey to, out away from our, to the next planet, because things are happening on Earth. So that you get like a signed card, sent from me from New Zealand, and we're going to get printed here, and that's going to be sent to you directly, apart from what's being sent to you with the card, with the comics and everything else, right? So, I'll put an envelope, sign it, put it in an envelope, and send it out to your mail, wherever it is, whatever your address is. So that's that, right? Now, where do I go and hit? So the other thing was, I was supposed to change this, and I'm probably gonna, because we had a changes in what we were doing, so I might actually pop that right out of there. So the goal is New Zealand 4.5, but it's actually 2.5 US. You'll be able to see that. So it's 30 days. So we're looking at December as the arrival, and we're not accepting any late pledges on this one. And we've gone through that. Next story. People want prepared to launch. Where are we? Now, I'm all linked in. Right, this is where I need you, bud. I sent it to you on Facebook, but but here we go. Wait, did that go through right, or did I press the wrong thing? Oh, I think I pressed the little silly thing at the end of it. Here we go. All right, I'll put on some music, and I'll wait for you to come on. And it is one of my friends, a couple of my friends' band, and it is this. Take a little bit of break and a bit of breather.
We are all one of a kind, and we are all one and the same in our own unique way. Saying we are all one of a kind, and we are all. Sing it from my heart, sing it from my heart that I've heard. Sing it from the
Word. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Well, I mean, this shouldn't be difficult. It should be obvious where to go. The thing is you got 5 alerts. You need to see what those are. No. Scroll back up. See that red bar?
All right. Oh, this is from all the other backers. So this is here.
So close that out. We just want to make sure that it had nothing to do with your project, okay?
Right.
All right. So, go back and edit it. Go back, edit in basics. Yep. Go in there. The screen hasn't changed for me, so I don't see anything different.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Did we? I jumped. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. It's jumped over onto another thing. I'll change that. Thank you for letting me know. Otherwise, we're like, what do you mean? Here we go. Let me see if I can jump in a bit more.
All right. Closer. So I just want you to keep hitting next at the top.
Okay.
Next. All right. Scroll down. Is there anything there that needs to be done?
Okay. See.
No, none of that. You don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I think everything is fine.
Up, up, up. Next.
Okay. Exit.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate coming on, man. Like, I thought you'd be asleep, and I was like, oh no.
All right. So your project's been approved. All you have to do is hit that button and this thing is live. So make sure you want to go live before it's live, because once it's go live and someone touches something in there, you can't change it.
Okay. Let me just do a quick check on the dates on.
Well, you want to look at dates. Take this off the screen. You're going to want to look at dates and make sure your shipping is correct. Make sure, you know, like one time I forgot to look and I had something there for $1 that was supposed to be $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just want to just do one final sort of double check before you hit that launch button.
Yeah. All right. So be on the rewards, right? So let's go. December 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. Right, so that's all good. Gee, 24, 24, 24. Yep. Perfect. Oh, I was watching your thing today. That was pretty cool.
Well, which
your stream?
Yeah, I mean there were several parts. Which part was the?
I was on mobile, so I was watching the Eric July. That was the last thing I watched.
Oh yeah,
there was,
yeah.
And I watched prior to that, and you're looking at what was it? The guy who was talking about like the sour grapes over the whole Deadpool thing, right?
Right.
With Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's gonna be some disappointed people, my friend.
I don't know why people like do that. Like the first, I mean, like I do that, but I don't ever spend more than like $20 or $30 on those sort of things, because I know it's like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm fine. But like when you spend a lot of money, like $300-400 just because it's off chance that she might be in it, you got to have the money to lose, right? For that sort of situation, you got to be willing to lose money like that, and because then there's no reason for you to complain about it afterward if it doesn't. Okay. Yep. Launch. Exit. And example. All right. You want to count down?
Yeah. Lay it on me, brother.
All right.
10.
You can start from 5 to 1. Go for it.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Click the little button. Click the little button.
And we're live.
And you're live. This thing
Niobe.
is up and running, man.
It is there. We're live.
LIVE live. Kickstarter is just launched. And of course, we'll get Aru over on the Niobe channel the next day or two, and he'll talk to us all about it over there. But right now, Robot Nation is alive.
Look at that. 29 days to go.
It's gonna be a long 29 days, my friend.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be at an event called Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of that, Larry?
I don't know. Well, tell me a little bit about it.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to the page because a couple of my friends are going. One's actually is because it started today at 6 p.m. or something for
Right.
like the special, event kind of like a VIP thing, right?
Right.
And because you were just at one recently, right? Last week before last week or last week, wasn't it?
I was at our little local con here. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't tabling
So
or anything. I was just hanging out.
so this is what it's a recent thing where they do it like twice a year. Usually it was just in October. Now it's like this weekend. So Armageddon, they should have a video here. Here we go.
Oh, Auckland. Maybe you'll run into Kyle Walker.
I'm not sure if he's coming, but it'll be cool if he was because
I'll find out. You guys can hook up, man.
Yeah.
Hang out.
I know we were just chatting. He's online with us, but I forgot to see if he was coming or not. So that's weird. I would have thought they had a better thing going on with that. Give me one sec.
Yeah, you do your thing, brother.
So here we go. Is this a better
Now you
one?
got to put the link for your Kickstarter into your own chat there, right?
Yeah, it's I'll reboot that link there. While we're looking at
Let's
this.
get everyone in. Anyone watching, go ahead, click the link and check it out, man. Robot Nation.
There you go. So that's there. Now, this one here, right? This so this is who they got lined up. They got John Barrowman from Doctor Who, but really from
Well, if there's a Doctor Who guy, you know Kyle's going.
yeah. He actually got a photo with Doctor Who yesterday.
Did he?
From the last one, the older guy. And he hit on his page, it came across my page. And of course you've got is that T5000 or whatever his name is? From Terminator 2. And then you've got like animators from Rick and Morty. You got anime guests and cosplayers and everything like that, game designers and so on. Now, general info. So we'll pop over to the general info so we get a bit of information off there because they've got a bit more information. So there's a couple of our friends going up, and this is part of the New Zealand, what they call New Zealand comic scene. And so they'll be doing that. Now, the great thing about this is it's only, I mean, look, it's not too expensive for what is on offer. You can do a whole, like big, huge package deals like friggin', $500 for the Star Pass to meet all your, people, famous people, whatever, celebs. But then you've got like the ultra, look at this, I mean, grand, and you get all this other stuff, right? But this is the whole thing for this year. You can buy a pin for $30, right? That's got the 2024.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be their 30th year, so it's going to be major for them, 30th anniversary. So I'm quite excited. I'm definitely going to be going for that. So the guests, right?
Yeah.
So these are the guests. So you got John Barrowman, Robert Patrick. That's what I couldn't remember his name, right? So Robert Patrick from Terminator 2. He's the one that morphs into things. And then you've got Tamura Morrison, of course, the Star Wars Clone Wars fame and prequels. And of course, what was it called? Like The Bounty Hunter. Yeah, The Bounty Hunter. Then you got John Barrowman.
Well, that's Boba Fett. I mean,
that's it, Boba Fett.
So that guy there, he was in the Clone Wars movies as Boba Fett, and then later in the Disney series, he played Boba Fett again.
Yeah, and the TV series there. So I don't know who Luke. Oh, I kind of know Luke Baines.
Yeah, he looks familiar. I'm trying to picture where he's from, but
there we go. So he's from. So you get $60 for a photo with him if you want.
Yeah.
But oh, they got swap finals. So I guess he's a bit more famous. Is an English-born Australian actor, author, and filmmaker. Netflix freeform fantasy drama series Shadowhunters. Now that's recent series, isn't it?
Is it? I mean, I don't know.
Let me just have I'll do it. IMDb.
I'm more curious on the comic guests if they got any.
Oh, very minimal. Yeah. So I'll tell you. There's only two, and so this is a series with Shadowhunters. I think I've read the book. I read the first book or something because I thought it was quite interesting.
We are at war. Valentine is raising a new army.
Like werewolves and
One of our own.
vampires.
We both want the same thing. To save this world.
If you kill him, you kill a part of me.
You don't have to protect me anymore.
You think you understand this world, but
Redheads.
you don't.
You really think love will keep you from hurting your family and friends?
Jace is not your blood.
He's closer than blood.
Kind of reminds me of like a Twilight thing or something.
We do.
In Kento.
The worst vampire ever.
Yeah. So that's that. So he's part of that scene
Mm-hmm.
in that series. So let's pop out of there. Let's go back to Luke Baines. Yes. So he's also in The Girl in the Photographs. And is this upcoming? Oh no, it's 2018. So Silver Lake. I think it's a Wes Craven. So you know Wes Craven, right? Horror and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So he was. Credits include untitled horror movie, sci-fi channels, Truth or Dare. So he's been a bit in a lot. So the other, one that kind of things for us is the fact that he's been in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Mandalorian. Right. So let's go and see who this one is. So this lady, I kind of know her face, but I don't know what she's from. The Good Place. Do you remember watching The Good Place, dude?
Not really.
It's like Purgatory, and it's a comedy thing, like a half an hour comedy show. So that was interesting. So it's kind of it's kind of like a must see comedy for that sort of thing. Kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. It was quite good. And then of course you've got animation guests.
Yeah.
So you've got from The Witcher. Now who's this dude? So Doug Cook, right, is an American actor, director, and acting teacher living in the United Kingdom. For over 20 years, he has worked in theater, film, television, radio, video games, and corporate video. Right. So what did he do for The Witcher? Is he the voice? In Baldur's Gate 3. So
Well, that's a pretty popular game right now.
Performer, yeah. So he's a voice actor.
Yeah, well, most of them are. I think that you're going to see there now, right? Any of those animation guys, the Rick and Morty guys,
So the voice of what is this? So they don't know about health, commitments and work. Usually sometimes because they're coming all the way over here, some people drop out at the last minute. It's been kind of like bad if you got a big name, do that. Because a lot of people go just for the big name.
Sure.
So yeah, kind of a bit bummer when that happens, but you can't really blame them because it's like a 12-hour flight.
Well, and shit happens. Sometimes people get sick or whatever, You
So
got X-Men 97 guy there, Magneto.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then you've got I'll get to that one. So you got don't know who these guys are, but more voice actors, right? Oh, right. His first acting appearance was Bilbo Baggins in school production. So you've got this dude who don't know much about, but is he supposed to be like the new voice or something?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be the old guy. I mean,
Yeah, they got rid of him, even though
Right.
he was, nothing. He did nothing. But they don't do that, right? They don't bring them back after they ruined their lives.
Well, it's very hard. I mean, I recently got uncanceled, but it's fucking tough.
Yeah, man, it was good to see that happen with you. Like, it's really weird what people try to cancel.
And I'm
people
not
over.
even sure between you and I if I'm really uncanceled. We'll find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So I guess voice of Morty is coming. Morty. Of course, I'm a Rick and Morty fan, but not anymore kind of thing. I don't like that whole idea of cancellation and destroying a man's life that way. So you've also got Spencer Grammer, Adult Swim. So she's been on Adult Swim science fiction series, and Casey Cartwright and Family. Don't know Family. And of course, we're down to. I'm still amazed that Attack on Titan's still so popular. Even though it's closing up. I think it's already final season or something. So you've got a voice actor here of Attack on Titan. There's no, and of course Sword Art Online as well. So he plays Miraculous as well. Big names. Oh, Bryce. Yeah. And you got Veronica Taylor from Pokemon. Wait, Pokemon. So what voices? Oh, she's on Mobile Suit, Gundam. Mobile Suit. You got
It's a Gundam.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Ikitosen. I like Ikitosen. You ever watched Ikitosen, man?
I don't even know what it is, man.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's like a battle school, martial arts battle school. Who old legends are reborn as spiritual beings inside people, right? And so these young kids have the souls of these older people, like fighters. So it's like Japanese history of generals and all that, and these college students or high school students. And the main character is this one here. This one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty full on. Let me just see if I can find it. It's fun. It's she's over aggressive. She just likes to fight, and to have a female, they're just keen as that. And this is around about 2003 is when the anime came out. And so since we here, let's I wonder if she's the voice of that character, but it's just fun. So this is
Funimation.
Everyone wants a piece of the new girl in town, but nothing gets Hakufu going like a brutal street brawl. The students of 7 rival schools are guided by the spirits of ancient warriors and must battle their way through the latest clash in a centuries-old war. Hakufu's path has been decided, but her destiny comes with a dark side. Ikitosen, coming soon.
So it's what they call Iroj.
Okay.
Mature.
Sure.
But it's just hardcore martial arts. She's like, you want to fight? Is that why you're here? And Nick straight away just into it. Kind of like a comedy take on, on that sort of, not being just, martial arts movie. It's more like comedy mixed in with that, but also hardcore series, but also Iroj. Yeah. So I guess usually, I'd have them here we go. So she goes, the most famous for playing lead character Ash Ketchum, and it's Pokemon. So she's wait, isn't Ash the main? Yeah, Ash is the main character, right? In Pokemon.
Yes.
So voiced by a female. No, you only have to be a dude,
Well,
man.
Art Simpson is voiced by a female.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like you have to represent your character, because Apu can't be represented by a white dude. It's got to be Indian. It's got to be Indian doing that. So why is it okay, to have a female do that and not moan and bitch about it, right? Fallacy. So she's also April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2003, the good one, right? Slayers, another anime. Sailor Moon reboot, Yu-Gi-Oh, Alien 9, Bakuman, Galactic Railroad was pretty cool. So yeah, I actually would like to meet her, right? I mean, like she'd like friggin' get a signature, but like the lines will be thousands, because New Zealand is known for manga and anime fans, more so sadly than comics, because there's some
I'm still curious to see what 2 comic guests you got.
Yeah. So let's hear it is.
Well,
right?
you don't have to go through all these for me, because this is boring shit out of me. I mean, it's clear that you got some voice actors, some people.
So Dean Rankin, our Aussie mate over there, he's coming. I've interviewed on our channel, and I've actually met him previously in 2019, and he's coming over, and he's like, does the drawings or illustrations for Rick and Morty, and he's also done some Simpsons and stuff as well. And I've actually got a really cool thing that he from a couple of years ago when he was last here. Oops. From of his Joker.
Oh yeah, oh look at that.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Like, so I got that from him, and I think oh yeah, there was, do you know Don Dave Johnson?
Not personally. We
Yeah.
haven't hung out in a while.
His name is Devil Pig on DeviantArt. So he was here, got him to do that as well. And then, of course, he had this one here signed lithograph as well. So that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of Punisher, so this is my favorite. But yeah, I'm gonna, hopefully Dean's got new work, but he's also right now he's got a what was it called? Death Metal Elves, a book he's just recently released called Death Metal Elves, and so that's going to be pretty cool. So this is him here, and I'm not sure if you've ever, if you've seen him before, but
No, I've never seen him before. No.
Yeah, so I've done an interview with him on our channel, and let me see if I'll put that in the link for folks later if they want to see Dean. And I was just talking, like, he's on my Facebook, so I was just talking with him earlier. So he's a Ledger and Stanley Award-winning comic book artist, illustrator, and writer, best known for his work on Simpsons comics and Rick and Morty. So you get all this like list of stuff he's done there, which is a lot. Invader Zim, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Hellboy, Winter Special, and a whole bunch of others. Now, let me just here grab the link on our website for the interview, so in case people want to check it out later. And there we go. So now the next lot we've got, and you're looking at like the here, Matthew Waterson. So because you guys have been following X-Men 97, right? I haven't. So do you want to? Did you like look into this, like the voice actors and stuff?
No.
These people?
No.
Right. So they're saying that Matthew Waterson did Magneto. So I guess that's why there's a picture there. So, what was the voice like on this time around, right? Because, like I said, I haven't seen it. What was the voice for these guys? Their
I mean,
voice
most
on.
of them were brought back from the original cartoon. I don't know if Magneto was one of them, though. I don't know if this guy is new to the part or if he did it back in the day. I'm suspecting he's new to the part, you know.
Let me grab 97 and we'll be able to just check. So, yeah, I want to bet.
Yeah, but was he in X-Men 92, like the original series? Because a lot of those people who were in the original X-Men Fox series came back to voice their parts in 97. I'm not sure if he's one of them, though. I'm not sure if he was in the
Yeah.
original.
So Matthew Waterson, let me just pop over to there. And yeah, he was. Oh, no, wait. Am I looking at the new one? Yeah, no, sorry. I'm looking at the new one. Dang it. 97 animated series, right? So it's X-Men, the animated series. Matthew was... from what I see, he wasn't.
Yeah, I think he's the new Magneto. So it's still cool. I mean,
yeah,
especially
it's
if
a
he
big
had
draw,
like an
right?
X-Men 97 comic or something he could sign, you know, that'd be all right. But
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys seem to be charging for their signatures, and some of these signatures I'm seeing aren't cheap, $50-$60, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at this one here, autographs $50, man.
Yeah.
So they're throwing about $30 US.
Still, I mean, like a lot of people that you would meet here, like voice actor wise, would probably be free at a smaller show. $20 maybe for fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fuck, you would have to pick one or two celebrities you really wanted to meet, and that's if you want to meet any of them, you know, to get your photograph or your signing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're selling Funko Pops with signatures for $70.
Yeah.
See that pop vinyl? So that means they're signing Funkos for $70.
Yeah, and a photo costs $50 with them. So it used to be 40.
Yeah, it's a pretty expensive stuff, especially if you know
one person
especially if you.
I went out of my way to get. Carry on, sorry.
Well, I mean, it's expensive if you're gonna meet all the celebrities, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would go to a show like that to dig through comic book boxes. You know, walk up and down Artist Alley if there is one, and see any comic book guests. Like again, are there any comic book guests?
Yeah, so for me, that's what I go for, right? I've spent like 40 minutes talking to comic book guests like that at one time, or half an hour, just like sit there and just kind of interviewed, stole his life story and stuff. And so the only time I actually had a photo done professionally is of Amanda Tapping, and she's a British actress, and she had her own show called this is her here. Called Sanctuary, but she's also been on SG-1 Stargate SG-1 Alaska, or no,
right.
Is it Alaska or Antarctica? Something like
it's called Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah, Stargate Atlantis. So this is the one that I've got, of me and her. And so let me pop that out there. So there you go. This is way back when, like about 2012, maybe. No, yeah, about a decade back or so. Maybe, no. Yeah, I think about 2010 or 2011, something like that. So, yeah, that's the only time I actually paid for a photo because I really love Sanctuary, and I think that's probably where the Howler story comes from with the comic book.
Right.
But, yeah, so then you've got Major from, of course, Doctor Who and one of our major Logan Swan from who's a rugby league player. So yeah, I think you're right in that sense. Like if you're going to these events, you're really going to make sure that especially if you're a comic book fan, you're there to buy a comic book, meet the comic book artist, comic book writer, and get signatures on specific books that they might have worked on, and pick up some art by them, right? when it comes to celebrities, I'm not so much going out looking for celebrities. If I was like looking at, I mean, the only one I kind of would think about going to get anything was like with John Barrowman. It's because I'm a, you know, for old school Doctor Who fan, and also I do like, it starts with T. I always forget the name of it, man. Torchwood. I'm a fan of Torchwood. You know, the mature Doctor Who series, right? Because I had one for kids, and then they, you know, what Sarah Jane was for kids, and so you had like Torchwood would be for the older crowd, you know, late night, 11 o'clock at night, sort of thing. And it was a good story. Like it was really fun, you know, but I really wanted to see more of that. So this goes back to 2006. So, you know, and he's been an Arrow, so it was great to see him in Arrow, right? It was really cool to see him in Arrow come back and do that. But like, you know, Tortured was interesting, right? This is from the children of movie.
Stephen?
I'm recording this in case anyone ever finds it, so you can see. You can see how the world ended.
Every child has stopped. Every single child in the world.
They just stopped.
Every other child stopped at the same time, and not just in Britain.
There you go. So that's Doctor Who from all the way back from 2006, and we got to see him back. And so Carl got a photo with him, this Doctor, where just the other day or something. Was it the other day? Or
it was a little bit ago.
Yeah. So that was, you know, so it was great to like, you know, that kind of tie that back into him being the Doctor now, which kind of, you know, pretty interesting, to be honest. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the last, I think, who else is here? So I did put a post out about, hey, there's only Dean Rankin, and so everybody else from New Zealand better, you know, as a comic thing, right, should better show up and, you know, support our Kiwi guys, because that's all you're going to get as comic wise. However, he mentioned that there was somebody else, Joshua Sky, right? There's the other comic guy that's coming. He-Man and Masters of the Universe heavy metal illustrated Martel. So that's who he's worked on. He's originally from Maui, Hawaii. Currently a writer for He-Man and Masters of the Universe. What I said universe twice. Yeah. So do you know any of his work, or are you a He-Man fan?
I mean, I was a fan of the 80s cartoon back in the day. Outside of that, I really don't know. No. It sucks that you don't have a lot of comic guests.
It's been that way for a couple of years now. Like, it's like, that's the thing. Like, this all started because of comics, and now comics is just like a tag on, which is kind of a bummer, because I would love to see Frank Miller here.
Right.
I would like to see Mark Miller here. You know, and they had Tinian. I think they had Tinian one year. I would like to. Some years they have like really big, a lot of them, and then some years they don't have any. So maybe we might have some more at the October one later this year than we for this one. So I think, you know, it'd be great to, yeah, I think this allows a lot more local people to kind of fill in the gap for these international people that aren't coming. So you got an artist and you got a writer. Or is he an artist as well? Yeah. Is he artist currently? Writer. Yeah, so he's working for Marvel Entertainment as well. Oh, he's on Humanoid, so that's that European series. I mean, you know, like heavy metal Europe. And also he's got like Love, Death and Robots, which basically ties into Robot Nation for us. Basically, if you like Love, Death and Robots, you will love Robot Nation. You know, our comic book we launched today. And let's see if anybody's actually gone over. Do you reckon anybody's actually gone and backed something there?
What do you mean?
In the last half an hour on Robot Nation?
Oh, you never know, dude. I mean, you never know.
Let's refresh. I mean, it's the middle of the night. What time is it there, bro?
It's fucking almost 4 a.m. for me, bro. So for most people, it's probably like 3 or 2 or 1 in the morning, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, nobody's done it anything yet, but like, yeah, it's pretty late for you guys. But like, America would be about like what 5 o'clock or something. How many hours are you behind? Like, was it Washington? That's the closest, or is it Portland?
Well, both of those are on the other side of the country, dude. Those are fucking West Coast places. They're 4 hours fucking earlier than I am. So for them, it's fucking 10 to 12, maybe 10 to 11, something like that.
Did you go to bed early or something, like after your stream?
No, I'm just up. Oh. I just happened to be up when you were live, and I was like, "Oh, check in and see what's going on."
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I was just going to check the timetable for schedules for everybody. It's crazy because I had lined up my guys and I was like, oh, okay, now it's midnight there. Now it's 1 o'clock. Now it's 2 o'clock. Yeah. So now you also have something going on in crowdfunding, right? So you're over at, let me get my link because I forgot to add that as part of my, and you also have something over at Drive-Thru. Was it Drive-Thru that you got it on?
I mean, there's always books on Drive-Thru now, just digitals. But yeah, I mean, we got stuff going on in Indiegogo, but it's pretty much going to be over in a couple hours. Like,
oh, bummer. I was just going to put that up, but I'm putting that up.
Shit. You know,
you got 1 hour left. So, do you think, like, for you who has built a audience over at Kickstarter, is it better to stay with Kickstarter, or is it, you know, do you think by going over to Indiegogo that maybe you're spreading yourself out and drawing your audience away and telling your audience to get over to Indiegogo, and maybe that's going to like make them go and see other stuff that's in Indiegogo as well? But if they stick with a Kickstarter and it's like the thing with the CG, right? Like Comicsgate, they're like, we're only, you know, we're not with Kickstarter and we're only with Indiegogo, and so they don't try to get their like show links that'll go to Kickstarter. Do you think, you know, is it negative or positive in that way, audience-wise?
I mean, for me, Kickstarter is where it's at. That's got a built-in audience. I mean, if you run on Indiegogo, you pretty much got to be good in with Comicsgate, bro. I mean, that's, yeah, because they're the ones that's going to drive the traffic there. And very few people are just sort of wandering into Indiegogo and finding the project. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've noted that. I've kind of noticed that myself, you know, bouncing around and seeing what everybody's doing when it comes to the indie comic scene. So yeah, you're pretty much on par with what I was thinking about that. Is that like if you have to be in with that? But I think I love the quality of work that's coming out. But like, and you know, like the ones I backed, like if you, and by the way, guys, the links in the chat. I mean, it's only 1 hour and like midnight, so sorry for that. But what I want to show is like people that I've backed, right, on our thing. I really kind of like chase up. I mean, the people that I back, I really believe in their work. I don't gotta, oh, you know, I think this is what is going to be there, and this is what you should, excuse me, you know, I'm just trying to help them along kind of thing. I don't feel that unless, you know, I don't think that's kind of like a good way, because you got to believe in the project to be, you know, to be able to be honest about that. Let's like with your one, like when I was reading Niobe, I was like, wow, this is really fun. This is really cool. And I'm like, yeah, this is, even though we know each other, right? But I'm like, also like, yeah, I do enjoy this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with, you know, I like the idea of, you know, and it was just interesting to learn, like how he's colorblind and doing comics, man. I mean, it was so, it was interesting to, to learn that. And that's something that I like about learning about people a lot when it comes to the scene, because, you got Nick Capone's is out there. I back that, hoping to get get him to get the other digitals off him. So I'm caught up. And there's some amazing artwork out here. I do love his style. Is he just a colorist on this, or is he like the artist as well?
I think he's both.
See what I mean? I know the work, but I didn't know more about it because I just thought like Purity looks like a cool, kick-ass character, and it works. So the other one's like I'm waiting on this. This is from Aussie right now. It's in the mail. Mac, Aaron, and I've forgotten the other brother's name. The Mac brothers. Fully funded in an hour, but like it's I should be able to get it by the weekend or next week.
How much you asking for?
Pardon?
How much you asking for?
For
your goal?
Or how much these guys were asking for their goal? Their campaign was they were asking only for 4K. Their goal was 1.5. So it's around about 1,000 US was their goal. And I interviewed them, so I look like this is like a biography, like it's a real life story kind of thing, which is kind of interesting. It was based on a crime thing over there. What's going on? Oh, yeah.
These are things we say. Everybody, everybody who's somebody. They all want me dead. They all want.
It was interesting in the sense like this is a true story, and a comic book kind of like these brothers writing a true story. Like, yeah, it was quite different. This is the first time because the only time I read a biography in a comic form was Goldfish. Do you remember Goldfish? It's Bendis. It's a Bendis book. It's black and white, a graphic novel. It's about crime. It was like about the. Let me stop it here with these guys so we can like go back and watch them. Listen to it say stop. Bendis, it's over there somewhere, but like it was during Al Capone times, that sort of time, the 40s gangster thing, if I remember right. So this is Josh. That's it, Josh and Aaron Mack. Aaron's actually a musician as well. He's a lead guitarist in a band.
I'm Ben Sullivan,
and I'm Josh Mack. And we're the team of Nation Comics,
the creators of Gods Among Men. Now, what is Gods Among Men? It is an unprecedented narco-noir.
It's a socially disruptive true crime.
And it's something that's never been done before across multiple mediums that are going to be interactive and will blow your mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was that. I actually got a foil variant because I knew it's just going to be over here, across the ditch for us, and so I asked him for a specific one that was signed, and hopefully he remembered to sign it. But yeah, so there, I think when we look at our comics on here and stuff, it's just each time, we're always trying to like get up and thing. But it's crazy how like you got all these big huge like you can't call them small press anymore, like actually putting out big books and stuff. You got Coffin, of course, with Lady Death. It is Lady Death, right? Oh, it is, yeah. All new Lady Gunfighter. Okay. So he's expanded his work. But it's interesting to see what is being put out, right? I mean, you've been here for 10 years. I haven't been on Kickstarter for 10 years. What have you noticed, like, when it comes to Kickstarter with, like, the comic scene?
I mean, in what regard? You know, that's a wide open sort of question. You know,
Do you think it's when it comes to the level of quality over quantity? Do you think the quality is getting better and better each time? Because I know every one of us is like a first time creator when we put out our first book, right? And then over time we get better at it.
Oh well, I mean, if you're not getting better, then you're doing sort of something wrong. You know, like.
What have you, like, when you look at comics to back? What is the comics that you looked at back on Kickstarter? Is it Friends?
Well, I mean, it's either Friends or things that I think is going to make me money. You know, like fucking.
Right. So let's talk about the. I mean, let's talk about the thing about what makes you money. So, what books do you look for when for investment wise?
Books with hot covers or big artists.
Right. So if you had someone like, say, like, if any, suddenly, like, say, Jim Lee book came out and was like, okay, this cover is going to cost $1,000 or $500, you would go and spend that $500 on that, or would you go?
If it's Jim Lee, fuck yeah, done. Sign me up. So you wouldn't have to ask me twice.
Now, so I had to toss up between paying for artwork or backing the John Stinsman, Evangeline, right?
Right.
Omnibus, because that was like, oh shit, I really want that, but then I need to, sort out this. Otherwise, my work's going to be delayed, right? Getting Robot Nation out. So, did you back that, man?
Of course. Oh yeah. I got the omnibus and I got John's eventually #1 reprint where he's did the cover on it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, 100%. I jumped in on that.
Yeah. So I noticed that, like, you were the one who, like, was pushing for John to get a cover in there. Did that? I mean, like, were you behind it?
No, not at all. I mean, I've been pushing for John and Rob to work together for a while, but Rob Liefeld certainly doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
No, he did that all on his own. He contacted John and asked John if he wanted to do it, and they made it happen. You know.
That's awesome, man. Because it's really cool. It's like a full circle, right? You're returning to that. You look at, like,
there might be more stuff with them coming up. I would just wait and see what happens. You know.
The reason I was saying that was, like, recently there's, like, Skid Row and Sebastian Bach thing, right, going on, and, like, like, if you hear Skid Row, you think it's got to be Sebastian Bach singing, right? 80 and Life to Carry, but, like, it looks like they will never mash up again. They'll never join up again and do Skid Row again as a team. With the,
do you really want that anymore? I mean, fuck, what are they, like, ancient now?
Yeah, but yesterday I just saw Skid Row with some other chick as a vocalist.
Yeah,
and then Sebastian's got his own band as well.
Yeah,
and
and I've actually seen them. They're pretty good. He came through years ago. He opened up, I think, for he was with Fozzy or something. Chris Jericho.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to say Chris Jericho. How was Fozzy, man? Because I've never kind of listened to them.
Yeah, he threw on a good show. I mean, it was half full of wrestling fans and half fucking metalheads. Like, it was a good time.
Now, talking about wrestling and metal,
sure.
I only recently learned, like, in the last 48 hours, Ronnie Radke is going out Saraya from AEW.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, like, she was actually kind of like in one of his videos, and, like, in the background of one of his, like, whatever Twitter live thing. And I was like, what is he? Yeah, I was like, that is Saraya. So it's interesting. Like, I actually picked recently, like, because of that, like, there was a video where it's talking about, like, the whole getting cancelled and being accused of domestic violence and of other stuff, and he basically sued the lady and had to go and do all the stuff because some dude on YouTube was accusing of her, like, throwing shade at it, and he said, "Well, what? I mean, I can't defend myself, right?
Right.
It's a lie, so why can't I defend myself?" And I was like, "You've got a fan of me now." So I instantly like, let's go check out this guy's music if he's going to be straight up. And I was like, I'm all the way now with Red Key, right?
Yeah.
And Falling in Reverse, because the only ever song I ever heard was Frankenstein or something. I love that song.
Feed my Frankenstein.
Is that Alice Cooper?
It is Alice Cooper.
Yeah. But yeah, so he did that song, and I was like, I don't even know who did it. I heard it on something, on some stream, and I was like, I like the song, but then I didn't listen to anything else. But just recently, like hearing, because I like people who stick up for themselves. I think that's an important thing, like you have done, right? Time and time again, and especially like with this thing the other weekend. And I'm not trying to puff you up and all that shit.
No,
I just like that's the people that I get drawn to personally. People who stick up for themselves, people who stick up for others, because I feel like that I would like to be that person as well. And I would like to have people stick up for me, and I will be like to stick up for other people. So when I see that, I'm like, you got a fan in me, right?
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Yeah. So what's your plan for this week? Like, I mean, I'm away, right?
Tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Then I'm going to come back and probably just do the usual daily show. I mean, right now, comics and YouTube kind of are my job. I mean,
yeah,
I'm pulling, like last night I did $20 super chat. That's not paying the bills, but at least it's better than nothing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fucking. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what comes up, but
yeah. I made a video the other, like a little short clip. I mean, I was talking last week, and I made a clip of it. I used to wash dishes, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And sweep the floor in a kitchen. So I don't, I'm used to manual labor and stuff like that. And so I never look down on any little money that you can get, because I think anything is better than nothing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I enjoy the fact that, I think the grind is that you put in the effort, right? You put in the work, and that's what it's like. Like if you, I'd be a subscriber, like like member, right? I'd be a member of your channel once you sort it out, because I think if I'm getting entertained, if I'm getting knowledge, if I'm getting educated, if I'm hearing people on your channel that I haven't listened to before, that's my TV, right? That's basically my TV and my radio. So if why won't I be willing to do a membership to that? Because if I'm watching Netflix, I'm paying the membership, right? I'm a subscriber there. So I think the honesty in that is like, if you're willing to follow somebody and you find their 2 hours or whatever, 3 hours, or even half an hour or 10 minutes is entertaining, why would you not support that? Because you want to keep them coming back and doing it. And I think a lot of times people aren't honest about that, because they think, oh, if they're just doing their thing. It's like, no, it takes a bit of effort. It's your schedule. You're doing it hours, right? Like I said, like I used to wash dishes and stuff and sweep floors. So if any work you're doing, and YouTube is work, it's not hard work, but it is work, because you get up here and you got to go do your research and find out what you're going to talk about. I did enjoy your feedback about looking at, what was it? It was like I'm trying to figure out the knowledge about the Arrow July thing that you're doing, like with the CG and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and how I like to go. Then I went away and looked at it myself. Do you think that's healthy for the indie scene, or do you think it's not healthy?
I think it's ridiculous, bro. It's one of those crazy things that we're in 2024, and you never know what nutbag you might run into at some point. You know what I mean? And what they're capable of doing, or how you affected them, or what screw loose they might have. Like.
Yeah. Well, how like across America and elsewhere, where people are randomly punching people, well, that's happening now. That's caught on in New Zealand now. Everything that happens in the like America, Canada, elsewhere in the bigger countries, we're very small, right? We only got about 5.5 million people or something, so we're a tiny little nation. But whatever happens elsewhere always flows down to us. And eventually 6 months, a year down the road, it will happen here. So if you see people, like random people, there was a lady stabbing little children on the street out someplace. And like, I'm like, those are the nutcases you don't want part of the scene at all. And you're right. I think, yeah. But the weird thing is to feed into that as well. I think, yeah, it's like two sides just of the coin, just, yeah, on each other. And I think for me, I'm like one of those people who just, get in the middle of stuff, and I sometimes too much. I have to be careful about that with myself. But I think that covers it tonight. Like, I got told not to go too long because we got to go to an event tomorrow.
Sure.
And otherwise, I won't be good because of my health. And today I did medical checkup and shit with my back and neck. So I thank you for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. I really do enjoy our time on your channel, on my channel.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy your input into the indie scene. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much you do help. And I think they're too, I think, I don't know. I don't want to speak for other people. But I do think that you do a lot, and I do appreciate it personally. I do. And I think a lot of other younger ones like ourselves, like new to the scene of crowdfunding, of indie comics, doesn't mean, and I don't mean like younger in the sense of, age. I just mean younger in the sense of coming to this crowdfunding scene. I do appreciate it, and I think a lot of us do appreciate what you and your team do. And I know you're not the only one, but you've got other people that support you as well. And I think I really enjoy listening, and I get a lot out of it. And sometimes, even if I'm not like watching live, I do watch it later, and
yeah,
like
and
I
that's
said,
the beautiful part of something like what we do, right? Is you can just sort of watch it later and take it all in,
Yeah, man. So thank you, folks. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm just going to put up Larry's channel, and then we'll be outro with a song. And that'll be us for today. And the other thing is, do go check out the comic. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback, because at the end of the day, did I spell that right? I did. So do check out Novi Comics here on YouTube, but also you can check out Facebook and Twitter.
That's it, brothers.
All right. Thank you,
and
everyone.
Of course, we'll have Aru over on our side of the pond here soon enough, and because he's got 29 days, man. There's lots of time to talk about Robot Nation.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm just hoping that I think because of everything that you guys have shared, I've become a bit more wiser about this than I was the first round last year, right? And that's why that's why I appreciate what I've learned in the last, 12 months. It seems like less, but it has been like since August last year, so 10 months. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me, and thank you, Larry. Do you want to say anything before you finish, Larry?
No, we're good, brother. All right, have a good one, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me, and do check out Larry's channel. And like I said, a lot of amazing information there, and a lot of cool, a lot of cool people hang out there as well on that channel. Some of them I actually had on, on this channel and done interviews with. The other, so as we finish here, do check out, sign up, or I guess now it's live. You don't have to worry about signing up, but do check out our, our page on where did I put it? There are several things I've put up. You guys can check out. There is also the Rising Sun Publishing page.com. So that's also in the chat. where we have our comics, our digital comics, but also there's so many cool comics on there as well from other people around the world. And I think, if you're looking for indie comics and you want it immediately rather than waiting for a Kickstarter and all that, go check that out. So let's finish off here, and we'll go with the song. Oh, before I finish, right, as I always say, right, wherever you are, be well, be safe. And if you got a loved one close by, give them a hug and a kiss. Let them know that you care, right? Your kids, your wife, your children, grandmother, whatever. Just let them know that you appreciate them, because we need to hear that a lot. Because it's something to lift us up, and especially men, we do need to hear that we're appreciated for whatever we bring to the table, right? But if they're not, right, do use internet. It's always there, right? Cell phones, we're always walking around with a computer in our hand, right? So send them a message and what have you. So as we finish, I'm going to leave you with a really cool song from our friends, the Crooked Cops, and we'll finish off. Hopefully you enjoy yourself and have
all one of a kind, and we are all one and the same in our own unique way. Saying we are all one of a kind, and we are all. Sing it from my heart, sing it from my heart that I've heard. Sing it from the lessons I've learned, and now I sing it to you. No matter how I earn, no matter how I burn, it's all learning in the end. I said I'm learning, but it's never the end. I know you feel me holding you down. Let me feel you holding me back, 'cause we're one and the same. And we are running from a continent land. One of a kind, and we are all one and the same in our own unique way. Sing, we are all one of a kind, and we are all running from a continent land. Running from a continent land. Running from a continent land. Running from a continent. Sing it from your heart. Sing it from a heart that you've earned. Sing it from the lessons you've learned. Now come on, sing it to us, to us. No matter how you earn, no matter how you burn, it's all learning in the end. I said you're learning, but it's never the end. I know you feel me holding you down. Let me feel you holding me back, 'cause we're one and the same. And we are running from a continent land. One of a kind, and we are all one and the same in our own unique way. Saying we are all one of a kind.